Ah, Black Friday. A day that beautifully combines the spirit of holiday cheer with the raw, primal energy of a Roman gladiatorial contest. It's a sacred American tradition where we give thanks for our families and then, mere hours later, are willing to body check a grandmother for the last discounted television. But the real spectacle isn't just the chaos on the sales floor. No, the true art form is what comes after, the complaints. We're about to explore 55 of the most mind-bendingly dumb Black Friday complaints ever recorded. These aren't just grievances, they're masterpieces of delusion. 1. A young man filed an incident report claiming an elderly woman snatched the last air fryer right out of his hands. But the physical altercation wasn't his main issue. His complaint focused entirely on what happened next. After she grabbed the box, she turned, made direct eye contact, and gave him a slow, triumphant smirk. He demanded management review the security footage, identify the woman, and ban her from the store. Not for taking the item, but specifically for her unacceptable and mocking behavior. 2. Turning her double stroller sideways, a woman created a full-on barricade in the main toy aisle during the peak rush. Her stated reason? She wanted to give her child the calm, unhurried space to meticulously inspect every single toy and make the perfect choice. When a crowd of shoppers asked her to move, she refused. She then filed a complaint that their impatient energy was stressing out her child and ruining the magic of the experience, arguing the store failed to provide a supportive atmosphere for a child's thoughtful decision-making process. 3. A shopper was in a dead sprint, racing another customer to grab the last doorbuster laptop. He tripped mid-stride, landing hard and smashing his own smartphone that was in his pocket. His official complaint had nothing to do with his clumsiness. Instead, he blamed the store for fostering a dangerously competitive atmosphere with their limited quantity deals. He argued that the store's sales tactics directly caused his accident and demanded they pay for his phone repair as compensation for creating the gladiatorial environment. 4. Two women grabbed the last designer handbag on the shelf at the exact same time, sparking a vicious tug-of-war. The screaming match ended when the bag's leather strap snapped, sending both of them tumbling backward. The complaint, however, came from the woman who lost. She demanded a brand-new, undamaged bag, arguing that the product was clearly defective if it couldn't withstand a standard Black Friday stress test. She was furious that its poor construction had cost her a victory. 5. Believe it or not, a shopper complained that his Black Friday experience was too organized. He wrote a 1-star review for a department store because they used a ticketing system for big-ticket items, had clear lines, and managed the crowd flow efficiently. He said it lacked the traditional thrill and competitive spirit of Black Friday, and that the calm, orderly process was boring and, frankly, a little disappointing. He felt cheated out of the authentic chaos he had been looking forward to all year. 6. One woman's official complaint wasn't that the deals were bad, but that they were irresponsibly persuasive. She claimed the store's deep discounts were a form of predatory marketing that exploited her psychological weakness for bargains, causing her to max out her credit card. She argued the store had a moral duty to recognize her lack of self-control and should have stopped her at the register. Essentially, she was furious that the store was too good at selling things and demanded compensation for her own impulse spending. 7. To beat another shopper to the last discounted vacuum cleaner, a woman aimed her cart like a torpedo and rammed it into the other person's, knocking it aside. She got the vacuum, but it was her who filed the complaint. She claimed the other shopper's cart was improperly parked in a high-traffic lane, creating an unavoidable navigational hazard. In her version of events, the collision wasn't an assault. It was simply an accident caused by poor aisle discipline. What's the craziest thing you've ever done to get a deal? 8. A customer tried to purchase a television on the Tuesday before Black Friday and demanded the store give him the Black Friday price early. When the manager explained that the sale price was only valid on, Black Friday, the customer became irate. His logic was flawless. He was a loyal customer, and the store should reward that loyalty by giving him a deal that didn't exist yet. His official complaint stated the store was punishing him for being proactive. 9. A shopper complained that an employee was completely unhelpful. The context? The employee was in the middle of a literal human tsunami in the electronics section, with people grabbing items from all sides and shouting questions. The customer was upset that this employee couldn't stop everything to have a detailed, 15-minute conversation about the nuanced differences between two models of headphones. She felt her individual shopping journey was not being prioritized by the person just trying to avoid being trampled. 10. An employee was desperately trying to restock a shelf with a hot toy, but a swarm of shoppers surrounded him, grabbing boxes directly from his pallet before he could even move. In the frenzy, a woman was elbowed in the ribs. Her complaint wasn't about the person who elbowed her. No, she blamed the employee for inciting a riot by bringing out a desirable product in the middle of a crowd. She argued he should have waited until the store was empty. 11. One shopper's complaint was about the air quality in the checkout line. Specifically, she was upset that the man standing behind her was breathing too loudly in her direction. She claimed his aggressive exhaling was a form of harassment and was causing her to inhale his secondhand air. She demanded the store implement a mandatory 3-foot personal space bubble rule for all checkout lines, to be enforced by security using measuring tape. 12. A woman filed a complaint after another shopper lightly bumped into her cart. The issue wasn't any damage. Her problem was with the contents of the other person's cart. She claimed the other shopper's cheap, off-brand items had spiritually contaminated her own selection of high-end goods. In her complaint, she seriously suggested that the store should have separate checkout lanes for customers with better taste. 13. A customer was outraged that an employee wouldn't help him find a blender. The reason? The employee was on his legally required 30-minute lunch break, actively eating a sandwich. The customer wrote that on Black Friday, staff shouldn't be allowed to take breaks and that their personal needs should not interfere with his shopping experience. So, is a lunch break a basic human right, or just a major inconvenience for shoppers? 14. A teenager made a running leap to grab the last PlayStation from a massive, pyramid-shaped display. He successfully snagged the box, but his momentum caused the entire tower of consoles to collapse like Jenga blocks, with several boxes crashing to the floor. The teen's father later complained that the store's inherently unstable product displays were an obvious safety hazard that practically invited this kind of disaster. He argued the store was lucky his athletic son wasn't injured by their poor setup. 15. Here's a classic. A woman was furious at the checkout when her total wasn't 70% off. She had seen a giant store banner that read up to 70% off and genuinely assumed that discount applied to every single item in the store. Her complaint accused the company of false advertising, arguing that the words "up to" were intentionally misleading to people who were too excited to read carefully. 16. In the middle of the chaos, a shopper complained that the store's security guard was too intimidating. The guard wasn't doing anything, just standing silently by the entrance. The customer wrote that the guard's serious expression and presence created a stressful atmosphere that ruined his shopping vibe. His suggestion? The store should hire security who looked less like guards and more like friendly neighbors. 17. A woman tried to use a coupon that had expired 2 years ago. When the cashier politely refused it, she filed a complaint. She argued that her loyalty should make the coupon mature like a fine wine, and that the store was violating her fundamental right to a good deal. What's the wildest excuse you've ever heard someone use to try and get a discount? 18. In the rush and excitement, a man grabbed the wrong video game. After getting home and realizing his mistake, he returned to the store demanding an exchange. He was reminded that all sales on doorbuster items were final. His complaint stated that the store's chaotic environment was responsible for his error, and by not allowing a return, They were profiting from his adrenaline-fueled confusion. 19. A man's complaint was about the parking lot. Another driver took a spot he was waiting for, which is annoying enough. But he demanded that the store's management review all parking lot footage, identify the other driver, ban them from the mall for life, and issue him a formal corporate apology for having to witness such low-class behavior on their property. 20. A shopper filed a complaint claiming the store's mannequins were too physically fit. He argued that their perfect physiques were damaging to his self-esteem, making him feel insecure about the sale clothes he was buying. The complaint stated the store was promoting an unrealistic body standard, which was especially stressful during the Black Friday rush. His proposed solution: either use more average-looking mannequins or offer an emotional distress discount for customers who felt bad about themselves. 21. The festive Christmas music playing over a department store's speakers was apparently too cheerful for one man. He submitted a formal complaint arguing that the upbeat, joyful tunes created a frivolous and distracting atmosphere that was simply not suitable for the serious, tactical nature of his deal hunting. He seriously suggested they switch to something more focused, like instrumental rock or ambient soundscapes, to help dedicated shoppers like himself get in the zone and maintain mission focus. 22. A simple wobbly wheel on a shopping cart was described as a catastrophic failure of essential equipment in one woman's complaint. She claimed the constant rattling and pulling to one side completely threw off her shopping equilibrium, a delicate balance she had perfected over years of Black Friday experience. This mechanical failure, she argued, directly caused her to miss a deal on bath towels. For the strain of navigating with the faulty cart, she demanded a $20 gift card. 23. We've all been stuck in a long line near a crying baby. But one shopper took his annoyance to the corporate level. His complaint wasn't just about the noise, it was about the store's complete lack of foresight. He demanded that they install a soundproofed family containment area near the checkout for such situations. His alternative suggestion was that the store should provide complimentary noise-canceling headphones to all customers who have to wait near an unhappy child. 24. When an employee tried to be helpful, it backfired spectacularly. Seeing a customer visibly struggling to lift an 85-inch television, he simply asked, "Are you sure you have a way to get this home?" The customer then filed a complaint for being publicly shamed and profiled. He accused the employee of questioning his financial status, the size of his vehicle, and his overall life preparedness in front of other shoppers. He was furious that an offer of help implied he might actually need it. 25. The logic behind a buy one, get one free coupon was completely lost on one shopper. He confidently tried to use it on a $500 gaming console and a $1 pack of gum, genuinely believing he had discovered a brilliant loophole to get the console for free. When the cashier patiently explained how it worked, his complaint accused the store of running a bait-and-switch scam, specifically designed to trick intelligent, high-value consumers like himself. 26. You won't believe this one. A customer wrote a long, detailed complaint about the low quality of the other shoppers. He described the crowd as unruly and unsophisticated, and was particularly upset that someone was wearing pajamas. He argued that a store with such good deals should have a higher caliber of clientele, and suggested they implement a dress code for Black Friday or offer a separate, more exclusive shopping hour for discerning customers like himself. 27. Personal hygiene became a corporate issue when a complaint was filed because another customer in the checkout line smelled strongly of garlic. The person argued that on a day as crowded as Black Friday, the store has a social responsibility to ensure a pleasant aromatic experience for everyone. Their proposed solution was for the store to implement an olfactory screening process at the entrance to filter out people with offensive personal odors. Is there a smell so bad it would actually make you leave a store, even on Black Friday? 28. The parking lot exit became a source of pure rage for one man. He complained that the long line of cars to leave the mall effectively held him hostage for a full 25 minutes. This unforeseen delay, he claimed, caused him to miss the kickoff of a crucial football game. He demanded the mall compensate him for his time and the emotional anguish of being trapped in traffic that he had willingly driven into just an hour earlier. 29. After purchasing a cart overflowing with plastic toys, electronics wrapped in styrofoam, and polyester clothing, a woman complained about the length of her receipt. She told the manager it was an irresponsible waste of paper and that the company clearly didn't care about the environment. The manager calmly offered to email her the receipt instead, to which she replied, "No, I need the paper one for my records." At what point does a valid concern just become a way to complain about anything? 30. And for a perfect surreal twist, a shopper's one-star review complained that her Black Friday experience was too easy. She found a prime parking spot, every single item on her list was in stock, and the checkout line took less than 5 minutes. This smooth process, she claimed, lacked a sense of victory, and ultimately robbed her of the thrilling survival story she was hoping to tell her friends and family later that day. 31. A store offered a free $15 gift card for anyone spending over $100. One customer was livid when he learned the card was only activated for use the next day. His complaint was epic. He accused the store of running a psychological hostage scheme, forcing him to return against his will. He didn't see it as a bonus for a future trip. He saw it as a calculated ploy to make him spend more, and he demanded the store pay him an additional $15 in cash for the emotional labor of having to remember to come back. 32. A woman at a big box store filed a formal complaint because the buy one, get one free deal on towels forced her to take a second towel. She only wanted one towel at half the price and argued that the store was creating unnecessary waste by making her carry a burdensome extra item. She suggested the store should have a buy one, get none free, and just give me the discount option. Management was reportedly baffled that someone was angry about receiving free merchandise. 33. The cashier cheerfully wished a customer happy holidays at the end of a transaction. This simple, inclusive greeting was met with a formal complaint to corporate. The customer wrote that the employee's refusal to say Merry Christmas was a direct and calculated assault on her traditions and had ruined her entire shopping experience. She demanded not just an apology, but mandatory training for all staff on proper traditional holiday greetings. Should employees be forced to use specific holiday phrases, or is Happy Holidays just fine? 34. It was raining on Black Friday, and one shopper was not having it. After getting soaked on the run from her car to the entrance, she filed a complaint that the store showed a shocking lack of preparation for the predictable weather. Her suggestion: the store should have built a temporary covered walkway spanning the entire length of the parking lot to protect customers from the elements. She ended her complaint by saying her deal hunting spirit was dampened, literally. 35. Having just bought a brand new smart TV, a customer returned it the next day, furious. His complaint? The TV was defective and not smart at all. When the employee asked for details, the man explained that he told the TV to play that new action movie with the guy from The Thing, and it didn't know what he was talking about. He genuinely expected the television to be a mind-reading artificial intelligence, and its failure to do so was, in his eyes, blatant false advertising. 36. One shopper complained directly to a corporate office that after waiting in line for 4 hours in the cold for a specific doorbuster laptop, it was sold out by the time she got inside. She claimed the store's advertising was deceptive because it didn't guarantee one for every single person who showed up. I mean, what did they expect? A personal butler to hold the item for them? What's the most you've ever waited in line for, and was it even worth it? 37. This one involves a classic battle of man versus physics. A customer successfully bought a giant big-screen TV, but upon reaching the parking lot, He was shocked to discover the box wouldn't fit in his two-door sports car. He marched back inside and complained that the store was deceptive for not printing the box's exact dimensions on the price tag. He then demanded an employee unbox the television in the parking lot and help him secure the unprotected screen in his passenger seat with a seatbelt. 38. A set of high-end kitchen knives was on sale for 80% off, a massive doorbuster deal. A customer who got one wasn't happy. He was angry. He went to the service desk to complain that if the store could afford to sell it at 80% off, their original markup must have been criminally high. He wasn't celebrating the deal. He was demanding to know why the price wasn't this low all year round, accusing them of gouging the public 364 days a year. 39. A man bought a massive sound system on Black Friday. On Cyber Monday, he tried to return it. When the manager pointed out scuff marks and a missing manual, the man admitted he had used it for a huge party over the weekend. His complaint? The store's unreasonable return policy didn't account for short-term trial periods. He argued that buying and returning was the only way to truly test a product, and the store was punishing him for being a thorough and practical consumer. 40. A man was furious after being called out for cutting a massive line. His complaint wasn't that he was wrongly accused. Oh no, he fully admitted to skipping ahead of about 200 people. His issue was with the aggressive and confrontational tone of the person he cut in front of. He wrote in his complaint that the store should better train its customers on politeness and create a more welcoming environment for people who are just trying to save time. 41. The complaint? The $70 blenders were sold out of the color Arctic Blue. The store still had them in obsidian black and racing red, but this customer insisted her entire kitchen aesthetic would be ruined. She demanded they either find an Arctic Blue one in the back or give her a rain check for that specific color. When told that rain checks weren't available for doorbusters, she accused the store of crushing her holiday spirit over a simple color preference. 42. In the packed electronics aisle, one man was proudly carrying his new 65-inch TV when another shopper, not looking where he was going, bumped into him. The TV slipped, hit the corner of a shelf, and the screen shattered. The man who dropped the TV filed a complaint demanding that the store's security team launch a full investigation, find the guy who bumped him, and force that person to pay for the damages. He wanted the store to act as his personal private investigator and collections agent. 43. A massive argument erupted in the parking lot. A driver had his passenger jump out and stand in a vacant parking spot to reserve it. When another car tried to pull in, a screaming match began. The person who sent out their human parking cone complained to mall security that the other driver was creating an unsafe environment and aggressively attempting to steal their legally claimed territory. They wanted the other driver ticketed for harassment. 44. After a major retailer's website crashed for about 30 minutes at midnight, a flood of complaints poured in. One was particularly special. The user wasn't just mad about the crash. He was angry that he had to manually refresh the page for 10 whole minutes. He argued this caused him significant emotional distress and early-onset carpal tunnel syndrome. He demanded a gift card as compensation for the physical and mental toll of clicking his mouse button repeatedly. At what point does a minor inconvenience become a legitimate reason to complain online? 45. The scene was pure chaos. A man had loaded up 2 shopping carts and was trying to check out. The cashier explained the store's 1 cart per transaction policy for doorbusters. The man went ballistic, shouting that this was a conspiracy to stop him from maximizing his savings potential. His complaint accused the store of discriminating against high-volume shoppers and demanded that they change their policy and issue him a public apology for the humiliation. 46. To reach a boxed-up coffee maker on a high shelf, a man decided that climbing the industrial shelving was a better idea than finding an employee. He slipped, fell, and twisted his ankle. His complaint wasn't about his own poor judgment. Instead, he blamed the store for inadequate signage. He argued there should have been a clear, illustrated sign specifically warning customers not to climb the fixtures, as if that isn't common sense. He demanded they cover his medical bills and install anti-climb features on all their shelves. 47. A fight broke out when a man tried to cut the checkout line with a single item. The person he cut in front of grabbed his arm to stop him, and the man dropped his new blender, which shattered on the floor. The line cutter's complaint was a masterpiece. He claimed that by enforcing vigilante justice, the other customer had destroyed his property. He demanded the store pay for a new blender and banned the other shopper for assault and destruction of private property. 48. This one is a gem. A man complained to a sporting goods store that the physical act of Black Friday shopping was so strenuous, it negated the relaxing effects of his Thanksgiving dinner. He claimed that walking the aisles, carrying a basket, and standing in line was a forced workout he didn't sign up for. He suggested the store should offer complimentary massages or at least quiet rooms for shoppers to recover from the ordeal of saving money. 49. Convinced the cashier was intentionally overcharging him, a man refused to believe the price on the scanner was correct, even after a manager showed him the official flyer. He began loudly accusing the staff of running a scam, holding up the line for 15 minutes. His complaint later stated the store was using deceptive pricing tactics, and that the employee's calm demeanor was clearly a psychological trick meant to confuse and disarm him during the attempted fraud. 50. A woman with a cart piled 6 feet high got it completely wedged between a clothing rack and a support pillar. After a minute of frustrated shoving, she gave one final rage-fueled heave. The entire metal rack tipped over, sending 100 sweaters cascading to the floor. Her complaint? The store's aisles were not designed to accommodate a successful shopper. She claimed the layout was a deliberate obstruction and a fire hazard. Was she a menace, or are store aisles sometimes just too narrow for a serious haul? 51. A woman's complaint was directed at the store's free Wi-Fi. It was, unsurprisingly, running slow on a day with 3,000 people inside. She was furious because the sluggish connection prevented her from price-checking every single item in her cart against Amazon in real time. She accused the store of technological sabotage, claiming they were intentionally throttling the internet speed to stop savvy shoppers like her from discovering better deals elsewhere. 52. The most serious injury of the day for one man? A paper cut. He got it from the edge of a glossy sales flyer he picked up at the entrance. He immediately went to customer service to file an incident report. His complaint alleged that the store was using dangerously sharp paper stock with unfinished razor-like edges. He demanded they provide a full first aid kit, a written apology for his laceration, and reevaluate their choice of printing materials for future sales. 53. You can't even be nice on Black Friday. A shopper was looking at 2 different TV models when another customer, trying to be helpful, pointed out that a third, better model was actually cheaper. The first shopper was outraged. He complained to management that this unsolicited advice from a rogue customer had ruined his personal journey of discovery. He felt the store had failed to prevent other shoppers from interfering with his methodical decision-making process. 54. A man bought a high-end camera, one of the day's hottest doorbusters. Less than an hour later, he was back at the return desk, demanding a full refund. The manager, seeing the box had been opened, got suspicious and checked the memory card. It was full of high-resolution photos of the man and his family posing with their other Black Friday finds around the mall. When his free rental scheme was denied, he complained that the store's rigid return policy stifled his ability to fully test a product in a real-world environment. 55. A couple showed up at 9 p.m. on Black Friday and went straight to the electronics department, demanding to know where the $200 laptops from the 5 a.m. doorbuster were. An employee politely explained they had sold out in about 15 minutes that morning. Their complaint accused the store of blatant false advertising. Their argument was that if a sale is called Black Friday, then all sale prices should be legally honored for the entire 24-hour period, from midnight to midnight. So there you have it. 55 dispatches from the front lines of retail absurdity, where the deals are temporary, but the entitlement is forever. It seems Black Friday isn't just about shopping. It's a window into a part of the human psyche we usually keep hidden. After hearing these stories, are you still planning on braving the madness this year? If so, we want to know what's on your list. What's the one deal you're willing to fight the crowds for? Drop your Black Friday must-have item in the comments below. If these stories made you feel a little better about your own shopping habits, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more journeys into the wonderfully weird. Thanks for watching.